So we've got invisibility. I think one of the big ones, the big questions, time travel. Are we ever going to be able to jump past the problems of space-time to be able to move back and, go back to the age of the dinosaurs or go forward?
Well, my colleague Stephen Hawking was famous for saying that time travel is not possible.
Right.
Because, well, where are the tourists from the future? They're not taking my picture, so time travel is impossible.
Maybe they are.
But maybe they're invisible. Invisibility is not
Putting
out
it
of the
all
question.
together.
Plus, maybe we're not interesting to them. If you go down a country road and see an anthill, do you go down to the ants and say, I bring you trinkets, I bring you beads, I give you nuclear energy?
No, you sit there with a magnifying glass and
burn a few, or step on a few of them, right? So what makes us think that we are so cool that an intelligent species in outer space or our descendants are going to come and visit us?
Yeah.
However, if somebody knocks on your door one day and claims to be your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, don't slam the door. Because it's possible that centuries from now, our descendants will be able to manipulate the power of a black hole, a star, go backwards in time, and meet their illustrious ancestor that they've all read about in the history books.
Which would be so great. And one aspect of time travel that has come up for myself and some friends talking in conversation is if space and time are so inextricably linked. And we are on a planet that moves in space and through time. So if we were to say, I want to come back to this place, but 100 years in the past or whatever it happens to be, would we actually be able to get back to the exact place that we want to, or would we end up in deep space?
Well, time is like a river. Well, first of all, Newton thought that time was like an arrow. You fire the arrow, it never deviates, always goes in one direction, and 1 second on the Earth is 1 second on Mars, is 1 second on Jupiter. That's the Newtonian universe. Along comes Einstein, who says, not so fast, not so fast. Time is like a river, old man river, that speeds up and slows down around stars. And we measure that every day. The GPS systems, time is actually slower up there in outer space than on the Earth. And the Pentagon cannot fight wars without the GPS system guiding its cruise missiles. Pentagon generals have to be briefed on Einstein's theory of relativity in order to fight a war. Okay? Now, the new wrinkle on all this that's causing all the excitement is that the river of time may have whirlpools. And the river of time may fork into two separate rivers.
Okay.
And this explains the paradoxes of time travel. For example, what happens if you go backwards in time, meet your teenage mother as a teenage girl, and she falls in love with you and spurns your father? How could you be born if all of a sudden your parents never met because you got in the way?
It's Back to the Future.
Right. Well, we physicists think we can explain that paradox. We think that the river of time may fork into two rivers, so that when you go backwards in time and meet Abraham Lincoln at the Ford Theater, and you prevent him from being assassinated, you've prevented somebody else's Abraham Lincoln from being assassinated. Your past is fixed.
Okay.
Your timeline cannot be changed. You've gone backwards in time to meet somebody else's timeline, and you've now created a parallel universe in which Abraham Lincoln was not assassinated at the Ford Theater.
So Back to the Future could happen, but the Terminator would not necessarily be so possible.
Well, the Terminator goes possibly to a parallel universe where he can, in fact, kill the mother of the future leader of humans.
Yeah.
But in his universe, he cannot. He cannot kill his the mother of the leader of the humans in his world, or else history would be impossible. If you go back and meet the dinosaurs and you accidentally step on a rodent who happens to be your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother a few million times removed, how can you live if you just kill the ancestor of all humans? So we think that it is possible to resolve all time travel paradoxes. Then the question is, well, why don't we build one and set the dial and see whether it works?
Yeah.
There's a catch.
There's
always a catch.
Yeah.
The catch is you have to be what we call a type 3 civilization, capable of manipulating the power of a black hole, the power of a star. Space and time is a fabric. We can bend the fabric of space-time. We measure this in the laboratory. We measure this around stars. But to rip the fabric of space-time, that would require the energy of something like a black hole.